We've all heard about the black-eyed children who will show up to your house or car and request to come in. And if you let them in, supposedly terrible things will happen. Although their existence is debated, the children on these lists are very real. So here are 5 killer children that committed brutal murders. Mary Bell. On the 25th of May, 1968, the day before her 11th birthday, Mary Bell strangled 4-year-old Martin Brahm in a derelict house. She was believed to have committed this crime alone. Between that time and a second killing, she and a friend, Norma Joyce Bell, with no relation, aged 13, broke into and vandalized a nursery in Scotswood, leaving notes that claimed responsibility for the killing. The police dismissed this incident as a joke or prank. On July 31st, 1968, the 2 girls took part in the death, again by strangulation, of 3-year-old Brian Howe in a wasteland in the same Scotswood area. Police reports concluded that Mary Bell had later returned to his body to carve an M into the body's stomach. Mary Bell also used a pair of scissors to cut off some of Howe's hair, scratch his legs, and even mutilate his genitals. Eric Smith. On August 2nd, 1993, Eric Smith was riding his bike to a summer day camp in a local park, and 4-year-old Derek Robbie was walking alone to the same camp. Smith saw Robbie and lured him into a nearby wooded area. There, Smith stabbed him, dropped a large rock onto the boy's head, undressed his body, and sodomized the boy with a tree limb. The cause of death was determined to be blunt trauma to the head with contributing asphyxia. In his 2014 parole hearing, Smith said that he had been bullied by older children at high school, and also by his father and even his older sister. He confessed that he took his rage out on Robbie, but was worried that Robbie was going to tell, so he had to kill him. Smith claims that the stick was only inserted in order to ensure death. Craig Price. It was the night of July 27, 1987, when 13-year-old Craig Price committed his first murder in Warwick, Rhode Island. Price broke into a home that was only 2 houses away from his own. He took a knife from the kitchen and stabbed 27-year-old Rebecca Spencer 58 times, killing her. Then on September 1st, 1989, Price was a 15-year-old freshman in high school when he murdered 3 other neighbors. Price, high on marijuana and LSD, stabbed 39-year-old Joan Heaton 57 times, her 10-year-old daughter, Jennifer, 62 times, and then crushed the skull of her 8-year-old daughter, Melissa, with 30 stab wounds. Their wounds were so deep that the knives actually broke off at the handles into the bodies of the victim. At the time, the brutality of the murders was mostly unknown due to his sealed records. According to law enforcement officials, Price had no remorse when confessing to these crimes. David Brahm. At only 15 years old, David got into an argument with his father. Later in the night, he entered his parents' room, wielding an axe. He struck his father multiple times as he kept trying to get up. During the struggle, he struck his mother in the head, and she collapsed. Once done brutally attacking his father, he noticed his siblings standing over his wounded mother, at which point he turned the weapon on them, successfully killing his entire family. What's even more unsettling is the fact that David went to school the next morning and bragged about his killings. He was only caught because a concerned student alerted the police. Edlington attacks. Since these are more recent, the names of the two boys have been withheld. On Saturday, 4th April 2009, an 11-year-old boy was found with critical head injuries near a brick pit in a rural area in Eglinton, while his 9-year-old nephew was found wandering nearby with knife wounds. Two brothers, aged 10 and 11, were arrested in April 2009. They had led the two boys to an isolated wasteland where one was forced to strip naked and perform a sex act. A metal ring was used to strangle the other. The boys collected stones and bricks which were thrown at the boys' heads. When alerted by the sound of passers-by, the suspect covered the two boys with a sheet, which then they set alight, inflicting burns onto their victims. One brother had filmed a part of the attack on his mobile phone, which was used as evidence in court. And I would just like to take a moment to mention James Patrick Bulger, who was murdered brutally in 1993. The story has been covered, and if you haven't heard of it, I would suggest looking into it. So that was 5 killer children that committed brutal murders. Which one of these did you find the most unsettling? Let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying my channel, feel free to subscribe. And if you'd like to continue binge watching, click one of these videos here. Thank you again.